All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honor to the apostle and great millstone that rule well. And salutations to the Akim, teaching is true. All the folk on the earth in true city love the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Shai. And very few sisters that listen as well, man. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Shai. Basically just going into the faithful was created in the womb, man. And this quote, really a scripture of Sirach 1:14. It say, to fear the Lord, Salaki. Let's start up because the scripture say the fear is the beginning of wisdom, man. So you must fear Yahweh Shema Shai first and foremost. That's the only way you're gonna come in the truth. That's the only way that that's basically how the elect was chosen, man. With the fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, because no one out here is out here calling upon the name, living the ways of the scriptures like the Lord told us to live. Everybody is what? Indulging into how they feel, yo-yo life, want to do what they want to do. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing here, man. We're supposed to a certain way to live. Paul said that I'm a Jew inwardly, also outwardly, man. Just not just on a Saturday or when you see someone or a brother around you. See someone that notice you, seeing you on the corners, you supposed to tuck your tail. No. Like I said, it's a day-to-day walk. When people see you and see you in the streets, they notice that you are what? A harmful, sweet person. Just preaching the word, man. Yes, we might use harsh words, but guess what? We have that fear to go out and teach the truth. So let's start at Sirach, just a little couple verses, and then get to the point. 1 and 11 say, the fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. Because guess what? We know who our power is. We finally got back to who we are as a nation, man. As a person, as a prophet. It say, the fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and give it joy and gladness in a long life, man. Because guess what? We know where our future is whole, man. These people go to work, have entertainment, enjoying their life, getting drunk, how can I say it? Basically downing their problem with liquor, alcohol, drugs. Man, it's crazy. That's why the scriptures say when you get this wisdom, you are quickly without care. Quickly without care, man. Verse 13. They say, whosoever fear the Lord it shall go well with him at the last. He shall find favor in the day of his death. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was faithful. It was created with the faithful in the womb, man. And that's the key, because the faithful is the chosen elect, the ones that the Lord chose from the beginning of the earth, man. The ones that he chose to what? To prophesy and condemn this place. Because scriptures say that the prophet of old, what they do, they prophesy against many kingdoms, pestilence, and of evil, man. And that's exactly what the prophet's job was to do, from the beginning all the way into the end. So that faithful is the ones that's out here, the prophets, out obeying the Lord word, doing what they supposed to do, man. Just like when you go into Jeremiah, the first chapter, verse 5, it says, behold, I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So right before you was even created, the Lord knew you, knew who you were, who you was going to be. That's why, hey, it's literally reincarnation, man. People don't think about reincarnation, but reincarnation is real, man. Because before we all was created, the Lord knew us. He predestinated our life. And if it's an honor to serve the Lord, hey, maybe you might could be that chosen. Lord willing, you are, because guess what? That's what we aiming to be. The Lord chosen people of the earth. We don't want to be 2/3. We don't want to be a heathen, because that's the only two other options, man. Either a heathen, a heathen, meaning one of the other nations, or a 2/3, meaning another heathen, a Gentile that's going to be destroyed because you acting like the other nations, the Gentiles, man. But let's finish reading this. This verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou coming forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations, man. And that's what the Lord had done. He had what? Ordained us to be prophets, to prophesy what? To prophesy the downfall of America, what the prophets did before, man. That's the whole whole job of a prophet, Salakia, of a prophet to do, to go out and prophesy, to tell the people, pre-warn the people of things that surely shall come to pass right before it happens, man. And that's what we have done, going out, prophesying, making videos like this, waking up people to let people know that Esau is going down and America is going to get destroyed, man. That's exactly what the scripture says. Don't matter if you believe it or not, man. It will happen, man. But this is this Ephesians 2 and verse 11. They say, wherefore remember that you were in time past Gentiles in the flesh, and we was all walking on this world, didn't know who we were, calling on Jesus, calling on, man, many things, sensational things, just like the scriptures say, don't put no God above me. So we was calling on all type of things, Muslim, Islam, Buddhism, all these things. All these things was worthy of death, because we put on, we basically served or were bound down to another God. And that's not what we're supposed to be. Remember, we was once in the world, we were once Gentile, but we came out of that state of mind to what? Come and serve the true and living power. Matter of fact, let's get that first. This 1 Thessalonians 1 and 9, it say, for they themselves shows of us what matter of enter into we had into you, and how you turned to Yahweh from idols to serve the living and true power. See, that's how we was. We was in the world being wicked, man. Until what? We brought up, reborn, and we predestinated. Like I said, the scriptures say, let the just. Matter of fact, we can get that next. Let's get that this Revelations 22. Classic scriptures that we always bring out, but it's always needful. This Revelation 22 and 11. It said, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And that's what it is. Hey, the 2/3 is going to fall into their lot, just like how the right and true prophets that's prophesied, that was set up, ordained from the beginning, that came into their stead, that was faithful in the womb. Hey, guess what? It's going to come and what? Serve the Lord in them end times, and any times, man. Because guess what? The Lord ordained them to do that. Jonah in the belly, he didn't want to go and prophesy against Nineveh, but guess what? He was chosen to do that. And when he was in the belly 3 days, 3 nights, guess what? Or was it 30? No, it was 3 days, 3 nights. Hey, look, the belly finally spit him out, and he realized what he had to do, and what he do. Went and prophesied against Nineveh, man. Which is funny, because Nineveh is aka the living prophecy of America Great. how America is gonna be destroyed, man. But let's go back into that Ephesians 1, 2, and 11 again. It say, wherefore remember that you being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who was called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time you were without Yahweh, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. See, we didn't know who we were. We didn't know who the Lord was. So we was alien, meaning we were Gentiles, right? Not like the other heathens, because the other heathen weren't given the promises, the laws, statutes, commandments, but we was in the world, meaning we didn't have that protection. We didn't have the laws. We didn't know the wisdom, right? But we was brought back and say, and strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh and the world, see? Because we didn't know the Lord in the world. That's why it's important to what? Be brought back. And how will we brought back? When you get Jude, the first chapter, and verse 5, it say, I would therefore put you in remembrance that you once knew this. And when we once knew the truth. Because if we were predestinated to what? Teach this truth. We was I should know burn up the Ephesians. But it was a clear shows how we was in the world and then we were brought back into the truth. You know why? Because we were predestinated going into the first chapter. That's what I really wanted. But Spirit wanted what it wanted. It's showing a clear distinction distinction about how we was in the world and how we came back into the truth. It say, putting you in remember that you once knew this, how that the Lord having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, outward destroying them that believe not, man. So the ones that didn't believe got destroyed, but the ones that did got saved, man. This Ephesians 1 and 5, having predestinated into this what I wanted, verse 4. According as he had chosen us and him before the foundation of the world, that he shall be holy and without blame before him in love. So before all this was made, we had a job, man. The Lord ordained certain people on the earth to do certain things to what? To fulfill his will, man. And that's what we are doing to this day, man. Literally. And hopefully that we endure to the end, because the ones that endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. Verse 5, which we got a pretty good chance because we got the end now. This verse 5, having predestinated us into the adoption of children by Yahweh to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. And what's his good will? Teaching this truth, going to the highways and byways, condemning the people, telling the people the things that surely shall come to pass, the prophecies, the things that the Lord ordained, that Esau cannot stop, telling Esau that he's going down, that we got next. We the real children of the Most High, our heritage. We gotta come back into the law, statutes, commandments, those things. We must tell our people, man. Isaiah 58. That's what his whole will is about. It say, to the praise and the glory of his grace, when we have made us acceptable into his beloved, man. See. So we was brought back with a price. Ultimately because the Lord had chose us from out of the foundation of the world, man. Before we loved him, he loved us. And that's the beautiful thing of the truth, man, because we are not just fighting just to be, of course we fighting for salvation, but ultimately we fighting for the first fruits, to be the first elect, the ones that the Lord ultimately sat down and gave the blueprint to what? Create the world. We are fighting for our godlyship, man. Because we will be changed, like the scriptures say. But that's another sit down for another day. I hope this last one edified. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, Double honor to the apostle, great millstone that rule well, and salutating to the occupants and the true off the folk on the Earth City, man. Till next time, I want to say Shalom, Kwan Yasharala, and a Baba Ball.